Ego Wiles. The ego does not exist in the mind of God. Only in this plane of existence is it something that you deal with. We want you to know that you are to let go of this ego, and that this must be done here in order to transcend it. The ego consists of layers of belief. You are not even aware of so many of them. We would like you to become more aware, so that you can say to yourself, "This is not who I really am." The negative emotions that are of ego are not your own. It is of great importance that you understand this, for when you realize that these emotions are not your own, you are able to release them. You can look at these emotions from a higher perspective and detach from them. Then you are able to see what they truly are and that they are not part of you. These thoughts are not yours. Whatever the ego does or thinks or says or feels, these things are not your own, for the ego is not yourself. Yourself is what is in alignment with God. The ego goes to great lengths to ensure that you are not aware of this and that you do not align with God. When you are in alignment with God, it has no power over you. When the ego can no longer control you, you are truly free. The ego always attempts to find openings and insert itself into your decision-making or to cause you to choose it rather than God. It uses tactics such as fear, blame, anger, and guilt to cause you to feel separate from God. The ego uses many ways and many wiles. It is all subterfuge. It causes you to attack yourself. It is self-destructive. It uses anything it can to take you out of alignment with the mind of God. It tells you that you are a sinner, and God has cast you down here to make amends, so to speak. This is not true. There are so many areas of life that the ego uses to control you. Ego uses limited thinking to convince you that your finances or your life is very limited. When you think that the things you can do or experiences are limited, you are denying God. Limited thinking denies God's power, which is within you. You are not separate from God, because God has placed God's power within you. When you are in alignment with God, nothing bothers you at all. You would not worry about such things as finances. If you would release the need to control or to reprimand yourself or to angst over these things, you would realize that God gives you all that you need. Issues with money are illusion. Release the need to know all of the answer to the ego's questions of how, why, and when. Align with and believe there is only one answer, and that is God's answer. It requires patience and allowing for these things to come to you. The ego also uses your body to cause you to angst. We would like you to understand that what the ego says about your body is all false. Your body is not real. It is part of the illusion. It is not who you really are. The ego tries to control you by using disease, sickness, and the fear of things happening to your body. We would like all to understand that it is only here in this plane of existence that the belief in death exists. It is another ploy by the ego to control you. If you really understood that you are not your body, you would know that you are eternal. Your body is only a temporary container for the energy that is you, the energy that is a part of God. If you are not aware, the ego will attempt to convince you otherwise. The ego places conditions on your love. The love from God is unconditional. It is no matter what. No matter what you do, no matter what you think that you are doing here, God always loves you. For there is only love within God. So when you place conditions on your love for others, you are not in alignment with God. Instead, you are aligning with the ego. The ego is such a crafty thing that it can disguise itself as joy, and it can disguise itself as love. But when these feelings of joy and love are of the ego, they are conditional and have a limited nature. It convinces you that something more is necessary in order for these feelings to continue. It cannot just be. It cannot just relax and allow. The ego places markers, so to speak, for the next and the next and the next, instead of allowing things to just occur or unfold. It feels the need to have total control and to understand everything, but it will never understand anything. It wants you to remain in a state of confusion, and it wants you to remain apart from God. And so it is. We shower you with blessings and our love, and we give thanks. Namaste.